We're waiting for our next guest, Cowen Gittens, to join us. So I'm going to take a short break and play some music in the meanwhile. I think here he is. Awesome. Cowen, good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
and welcome to CWS as it is. Can you give us a tighter shot? Like, is it possible? And yes,
This is alright?
yeah, that's good. That's good.
Great.
Um, yes. So, how are you doing?
Good enough. It's a hot afternoon, though.
Sorry?
It's a hot afternoon.
It's
It's
a hot
hot.
afternoon. All right, my brother. One for the road. So tell us a little bit about your business and tell us a little bit about who you are and your business.
My name is Cowen Gittens. I am a freelance architect. It's a part-time job that I do. I draw and design house plans, affordable house plans for commercial and residential persons. Commercial and residential purposes, right?
Mhm.
I do them for at least 50% less than most common or popular architect firms, and I allow persons to choose their designs or to come with their plans, and I can do it for them.
Mhm. How did you get started?
I started this about 3 or 4 years ago, right? I started it was actually just something that I do that is a spin-off from my actual day job, right? So that was what was our start.
And how old are you now?
I'm 24.
You're 24. Wow.
Yeah,
So 3 or 4 years ago you started, and what were you doing? I mean, what type of job were you doing?
I am an environmental health assistant,
Mhm.
or what persons know as public health inspectors.
So how did you get involved with technical drawing?
Well, during to become a public health inspector, you have to do a course, a training, and during that training, they will teach you how to do plan drawing because it's basic occupational health and safety would come into play, and you would have to assess building plans to see that buildings go up according to regulations and bylaws, mostly for fire purposes and other hazard that would come. So during that training, they would teach you how to read plans, how to draw plans, and how to assess them. Right. So from that, I was trained in that area, and I used that as a venture to start my other part-time
So
job.
at what point you realize that you can do this? You're actually good at drawing, and good enough to start your own. What was the trigger?
It first started when during my job, a person would come and they would ask if I know anyone that could draw a house plan for them, and I took it to task to try it out to see if I'm good at it, and it from then it stemmed off into being an enterprise per se
Wow.
because of the nature of my job. Person would come because I would have to assess the plan, right? And person would then know that if this guy is assessing this plan, if this guy is looking to see if this plan is correct and true, right? Then most likely you would be able to draw the house plan,
Do you
design the
remember
house
your
plan.
first? Do you remember your first job, or first project? Private project, and what it was like when you received that check?
My first private project. I can't remember my first private, but I remember the first major one.
Uh
Right,
huh.
the first major one was for a it was a residential building for a guy. I remember his name, Andrew. I can't remember his last name, right? But he took me to his place, his land, and he showed me, and we were talking, right? And I explained to him why I'm doing what I'm doing. I explained to him that this is just a part-time job so that I can get money for tuition, right? And he liked the idea, and he showed me around. He could tell me that it's great that young people can actually do something with their lives rather than just something that they like, right? So he was even offering to buy the software that I used to draw the plan, right? And he encouraged me a lot, and I think it was a good experience for me because I just thought it could be just something that I do probably once or twice a year. But he encouraged me at least I can do this as an actual career choice, right? But I didn't want to be a career choice. I still to keep my day job as well as to do something part time.
Well, what did
Right?
that? What do you think that experience taught you about life?
It well, there are several lessons that I can take from it, right? But he was even telling me that he has friends, right, that they come from nothing, right, and they just use a skill or something that they know that they're good at to actually start their own business, right? And for me, I think that if you know to do something, right, if you know if whether it's sewing or even repairing shoes or basic masonry, right? If you know to do something, if you're good at doing something, I believe that you can use that as a stepping stone to be in a position that you want to be, a position that is comfortable for you.
So if a group of young men, um, your age and younger, came to you complaining that they can't find something to do, and they just want to give up because there's nothing to do, and so on. What would you? How would you advise them?
I would advise them that there is something that you are good at, right? You may
Mm-hmm.
not be the best at everything. You can't be the best at everything, but there must be one thing that you are actually good at, one thing that you can use to get money, or because money is probably what most of them they want money, right? And it may sound a bit, a bit what's the word I'm looking for, a bit trivial to just say money, but most of them are they just want to get quick money. They don't want to work to attain to attain or to achieve these things. But I believe that if you are good at something, anything, whatever it is that you are good at, you can use that as a stepping stone to be in any position that you want to be. You want to buy a car, you want to buy a house, because the options are wide, right? There are lots of things that you can do to be in a position that you want to, right? There are so many things. And if and I even know my older brother, right? He knows several things. And even myself, I know, and I've even been training myself to learn a lot of other things because this software that I use to draw, there is a course that you can take to learn it. But I actually learn it from just basic reading and so on. And there's several things that I can do if this doesn't work out. I know how to root and unlock phones. I know how to do that designs. I can do several other things, right? And I think that and also one other thing I'd like to mention here, I believe that if you can read, and you can achieve anything, or you can achieve most things, because there is the internet that you can learn how to do, how to fix the TV, how to fix the fridge, or there are lots of things that you can do if you know how to read. But it comes back to if you have a skill, right? You can use that skill to achieve anything that you would like to achieve.
Um,
Probably say
in in the chat room, Gene asks, "What are 3 reasons anyone should choose your company?"
the three main reasons to choose my company is one, I offer prices that are far less than most architecture firms. And most architecture firms will charge $20 per square foot for a floor, for a single floor plan. That means if it's 2 floors, you have to pay $40. Whereas I would charge $10 for a flat building, a flat building, and $15 for a two-story building. That's the entire thing, right? So I think I offered prices that are less because I could afford to offer it less. The second thing I would give clients up to four free copies of my plans, of my designs. That's free of charge and it's always in color. You don't have to pay for that. And the third thing, which is most important, all of the plans and designs that I do are always within the building regulations and bylaws of Guyana. Right? And if that's not good enough for you, I can give you another reason why you can choose me. If I do a design for you, you don't like the design, you will get a full reimbursement of your money if you don't like it, right? Or you can probably choose. And there's the other thing, right? I usually allow clients, right, to pay what they can afford in most cases, right? And I would usually ask for a down payment of 50% of the overall cost to cover most of the joint and printing and so on, right? So those are four reasons why you should. One, I offer plans that are less. Two, I offer free printing. Three, three is the plans are always within the building regulations and bylaws of the. All right, so you don't have to worry about it being rejected by your NDC or municipality or even by. So they're always within the building regulations and bylaws of the.
Um, and Ralph asks, how did you come up with your prices?
I came up with prices. It was simple, right? I think that if you can offer services to people at a price that they can afford, I think you should do it rather than offering a price that is across the board, right? Because most of the architecture firms they have one price that's across the board, and if you can offer price that less than that, I think you should do it, right? And that's what my business is about. It's about helping people. Right? Because most persons that would come to me to do the plans and designs, they're not very affluent. And I can give you another a scenario of this. Because 2 weeks ago, right, I had a client, right, a woman, her house from Bladen Hall of the East Coast. Her house was burned down. She now wants to go for another plan for a new building, right? And she came to tell me her situation. She told me her situation, and she told me she don't have a lot of money to afford a lot of plan. I was even willing to do it for free, but she insisted that she would pay at least some of it, right? So basically I just try to get people out to see what best you can afford, and I try to work with that.
Hmm. The chat room. Okay, let me go again. Ralph asks, have you ever been robbed? Like someone not paying you, and how you dealt with that situation?
I remember one instance, right, where I did a plan for a woman, right, and she wasn't. I don't think I was robbed. She just didn't come to uplift her plan, but she didn't pay any money or anything. But I think she probably lost interest, or for some strange reason, she didn't want to do the planning anymore. But I can't remember any major instances where I was robbed or anything of the sort.
And Michelle, do you have employees? And if not, do you intend to get?
So I don't have employees, right? But I'm thinking of probably in the next quarter or next half year, probably next year I should say, right? To probably expand the business into probably I can start a real estate and so that it can accompany the designs and the plan.
Mhm. But where do you see this company in 10 years?
Well, as I said before, in 10 years, I have plans and projections of starting my own architecture firm,
Okay.
and I would like to start also home decoration as well.
Mhm.
So that would also accompany, and as well as probably real estate as well. So it'd be real estate, architecture, and home decor.
Michelle said, this young man is so confident and articulate, so proud of these Guyanese youth. So,
Thanks, Michelle.
um, what were some of your main challenges when you first started?
When I first started, as I said before, with the guy Andrew, right? So the major challenge was to actually learn the program software that I use, right? Because there is a course that you can do to enhance your skills, but I didn't have the money to pay for it. So the guy Andrew, he was willing to pay for it and to help me to learn it for myself. But I just did I what's the word titivated with it to learn more about it, right? You just play around with it to see how best you can learn. But from when I started to now, right, I think I'm more proficient now, and I am more comfortable with it. I can because then to draw the average plan in last 2 years, it would have taken me about half a day times a day. But now I can do an entire plan for a business 2 3 stories within a couple amount of hours.
So how did your friends and close relatives reacted to you getting into business for yourself?
It was great. It was rather overwhelming actually because I have a lot of friends that would share my some of the images and videos that I posted on Facebook on the ads. Right. And I when I created my first business cards to extend my network, they would ask me they would ask me for some that they can share with their friends at work or they can share with their friends at
Hold on a
so on.
second.
So it would,
Hold on a second now, thing. I can't let this pass. Here we are, 24 years of age. Here you started a business and your friends, this is what is happening. I noticed there's a common thread among the youth that I'm interviewing is that your core friends, your social graph, people cooperate, people assist, people help you. So here you have
yes.
friends who ask you for business cards to share out. Why you think
Yeah.
that is so? Because I mean, this is fascinating to me that your friends are coming out and wanting to empower you, wanting to assist. And this is not just you. A lot of the young people, this is happening. Um, why do you think this? Why do you think this is happening among you, and not so much the older generation?
I think it's because people are more inclined to help one another. Because if you have a friend, they would already be able to understand your situation. You'd be able to understand, listen, this guy has a skill, or probably this guy has a need, or something of the sort. And they can be able to relate to you because they know you, they're your friend, and they would know why you're doing it, how you are able to do it, and if you're good at it, if you're, or because for me, my friends already know why I'm doing this, right? I already spoke to them, told them why I'm doing this for school and for so on, right? So when they go to their acquaintances, to their friends at work and their co-workers and so on, they'll then be able to explain to them that this is a small business, this is what this guy is doing, and he's really good at it. But I think when you rap with people, you relate to them as friends. You can explain to them your situation, you can
Mm-hmm.
explain to them why what you're doing.
What,
And I yes,
what is encouraging for you among the youth or among other entrepreneurs or other young people that are in business? What is encouraging for you?
I think the persistency in doing it, because not every day you would have a large fan base per se, or a large group of clients that are willing. Or because even with me, sometimes I don't get a lot of work to do. But if you continue being persistent, if you continue to work hard, continue looking for clients, you continue looking for a job for work, right? You will be able to do it. And I think that is the most important thing with any job, any career choice, right? Any venture that you take, right? You must be persistent. Not every day is going to bring heaps of work, heaps of clients. But if you continue to be patient, if you continue to be persistent, you will always be able to push forward and to move on to whatever.
Where do you think you got this attitude from?
I I don't know. I can't say. I don't know. I think it's just part of it, I
It's
guess.
part of you. And
I have a passion. I don't know. I don't have a passion for of helping people. I like helping people, right? And I think that whatever it is that I do, right, the first thing that I have on my mind is how can I help this person, no matter what it is, no matter who the person is. The first thing I look for
is
is
that why you charge such a reasonable price? Tell us about that. Um,
yeah.
and
I
I'm going to push phrase this question present this question in a certain way. Did you calibrate your price so that you can maximize your earnings, or you calibrated it because of the economic status of the most of the clients that were coming your way, or a bit of both?
it was never to maximize my income per se. It was basically to help people who are in need, because I know that I was in need as well. I needed tuition fees, right? So I started to do this. But why I charge so low is because one, persons were not who came to me, they were not majority of them, I can say about 80% of them, they were not very affluent. They already had to pay millions of dollars to get the land first, and now they want to do a house. I can't charge them a lot of money, right? So I gave them a price that they can afford. That was one. But I also believe that if I charge less than the other architecture firms, my client outreach would be more. Because when people know that I charge less than the average architecture firm, they'll be able to tell their friends, look, I know a guy who draws plans for a cheaper price, right? So I believe that my prices attract people as well as the reason why I do what I do.
What do you believe is your most valuable asset?
My most valuable asset is the ability to assess a person's situation and to be able to help them, I believe.
I like
Because
that. I like that answer. Go ahead. Sorry.
I am a very open guy, right? When people come to me and they say, listen, I can afford this, or I can afford so much, or I can pay you this part and pay another part another time, right? Because I even had clients like that. They said, listen, I need the plan, but I don't have all the money now, right? But I need the plan. And I was willing to trust that person, right? And the guy sees me on the road, he doesn't even see me on the road. But now, after he would ask me, oh, how's everything going? He paid one part of the money 1 week, and he didn't pay the other part a couple months after. I even forgot about it, right? But he was honest enough to come to me. And I think if I don't know, I may be a bit too open with people, but I think it's my openness that attracts people and the basic friendliness.
Um, if if you had an opportunity to speak to the government, let's say the president, what are two things would you, or to advise, what are two things would you say to him?
This is a tough one. But
Give it your best
as a
shot.
as this is a tough one, yeah. But as a person, I think you are first a servant to the people, to the public, and that should always be your priority. All right. No matter what it is that you do on a daily, your priority is serving the public. And if that is at the forefront of your job or your business, whatever it is, you will be successful because people would then be able to appreciate what you do, and they would then be more confident in what you're doing because they know that what you're doing is for the greater good of the country, and not just the greater good for yourself.
Mm. I want to go to the chat room. So Michelle's asked, said, this young man is so, okay, I read it before. These young people believe in helping each other, Selwyn. I like that. Michelle again, how can the government help?
How can the government help in what way? Help me?
Yes, I guess that's what they're at. Yes, how can the government help young people? Let me think the
Oh, yeah.
question. Help young people to be more, help young people who are
Include
interested in entrepreneurship.
more scholarships would be in the front of my head. And I know that there is an organization, IPED, that will give out small loans to persons who would like to start business. If you submit a project to them, they will then see how best that they can help you, or they give out small loans to persons. I think if the government has, I don't know if they do, but I don't think, I never heard of it. But if the government has some kind of what is the word I'm looking for? Some kind of way that they can help young people who would like to start a small business, that they can give them small loans, and then they can be able to start it, and from that business they can be able to generate enough revenue to pay back that loan.
Mm. And Michelle Foster said he should consider pricing based on a scale so that he's not taken advantage of. Scale being the size or cost of the final building.
I do have a scale, and let me give that. It is $10 per square foot for a flat building. It is $15 per square foot for two-story buildings, $20 per square foot for three-story buildings, and 40 for three and above. Right? And that would include, and you would now have to do the length times the breadth to get your square foot of whatever the building is, if it's a commercial building or residential building. And then I would do if you are on WhatsApp or in social media, I will do sketches and I will send people to see which one they like the most and which one they would like to work with. And then I will do the elevations and the site plan based on the size of their land and so on.
Is this
So that is
that is it? So, what do you enjoy most about doing this?
as I said before, I enjoy most that I have the ability to help people. That is what I enjoy most, helping people. Because I still believe in my heart that someday would come that I would need help from people. And the person that I would have helped some 10, 15 years ago, that somebody is out there.
So you pay
that
it
is
forward.
willing.
So you're paying it forward.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. It's not really the monetary reward that I'm doing it.
Right.
Very important to me, but it's not the most important thing about my job.
After being in business for a bit, three or 4 years, how are you convinced that you're cut out for this?
I am convinced that I'm cut out for it because of the response that I've been getting from public. Right? People come to me, even if they meet me on public transportation, right? And they ask me, hey, aren't you the guy from Facebook? And I talk to them and you can able to tell them what you were doing. And it's been overwhelming, right? People respond to certain things differently. And for me, people's response to my job, it's been very overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And it's encouraging on a lot. A lot of people come to me and they encourage me to continue doing what I'm doing because they think that it's a good idea.
So, how do you balance the demands of your business with work, family, and friends, and or leisure?
Uh, Good question. I on Saturdays and Sundays, I would designate those days specifically for spending time with my family, my girlfriend, and her family as well. But during my work, after I come up from my job, because my job would encompass this same small business, right? So after work, I would then go to do just some joints for clients and so on. I sleep late at nights on most nights because I have to finish up a lot of work. And because my work starts at 8 and finishes at 4:30. So by the time I get home, sometime around 5:30, I can start working on jobs that I have for people. So it's hard to balance these things because you would have to then find time to spend with your friends if you have friends that are demanding time from you and you still have to find time for your family. But I don't work on Saturdays and Sundays. I designate those 2 days specifically for spending time with my family.
If you could turn back the hands of time, what and go back to when you first started, what would you do differently?
What I would do differently. uh, I think I what I would do differently is probably what I'm doing now. I am doing now. I am now, as I said, I can do graphic designs. I do small ads to promote my business, or small video ads. I show how I do it and so on. I probably think if I have done that several years ago, I might be able to probably have a small office somewhere to and be able to expand now. But now that I am doing more small ads to promote myself, now people are responding.
Mhm.
But if I had done that 2, 3 years ago, I might have been better off now.
And last question, how can people find you?
People can find me on Facebook. It's Cowen Gittens. You can find that, or you can go to the page, the official page of my small business, Affordable House Plans and Designs. Just /com /affordable house plans and designs. Or you can reach me on 610-4025. You can text me, WhatsApp, you can call at any time. Or you can meet me on my email address at cowengittens@yahoo.com.
Let's get that number again. 610 what?
610-4085.
4085
Yes,
592.
you can message me WhatsApp at any time.
Cohen, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you everybody for responding. Have a great afternoon.
You're welcome. Take care.